What's up, banana bunch? Bunch? Bunch?
Welcome to the Jungle Gyms podcast. What's up, Banana Bunch? You know what time it is. It's time for another episode of the Jungle Gyms podcast. I'm your host, Mark. How's everybody doing? I can't hear you, but I'm just going to pretend you all said, great, Mark. And I'm going to say thank you for answering. It's been a fun week. I just got back into town. I think I mentioned last week I was headed out of town, went to a really fun podcast convention called Podfest Expo, which I guess I could have just said the first time. I met a lot of really cool people. Shout out to everybody that was down there. It was really great. Honestly, it was one of the best work-related conventions I've ever been to. I learned a ton. I'm incredibly inspired and fired up, which I know for a lot of you who don't know me very well, I'm kind of always that way anyway, but now I'm like really fired up and excited. Got some fun ideas, all kinds of good stuff. And this week on the show, I've got a lot of things coming up. This week, I brought in another local vendor. I love doing that, right? Jungle Gyms, we are like a springboard for so many independent creators. It's an amazing place, right? You know, it's hard for a lot of people to just waltz into Kroger's office, for example. Great company, obviously, but you know, you can imagine at their scale, much harder to introduce your products there without a little, like a resume, right? Think about it like any job. Like, you know, this isn't my first job. I spent 20 years beating myself up in the entertainment industry in the Midwest, hoping one day I could eat food professionally. But I brought in Bonita's Southern style sweet potato pies. I have been hearing so many great things about those since I started, and I finally got it on the schedule. And I thought it'd be fun to talk to Bonita about food memories and, like, you know, her preparation processes and maybe some secrets behind it. And you know what? She's just a delightful, great energy. You know, she brought a lot of great energy to the room. She's just a delightful person to have in here, and her sweet potato pies are awesome, which you'll find out about soon. But thinking back to the convention I just left, one of the big features of the convention was a chat we had about ChatGPT. And so for those of you out there that don't know about ChatGPT, it is an artificial intelligence tool, okay? And I know that that's like one of those words right now that you're getting angry about. Don't. Maybe just keep doing research and stop reading just the headlines that make you angry. It's changed my life for the better. I guarantee it'll change yours too. It's a really cool tool that can help a lot of people in the creative space, like writing blogs or, I'm bringing this up because our creative director, Zack, got me hip to this a few weeks back. And so we were going through and, you know, I was like doing all kinds of stuff, and I had Bonita coming in, and I was like, you know what? Maybe this tool can help me write a few extra questions for this interview that I otherwise wouldn't have written. So today's episode features questions not just written by me, but also written by the ChatGPT AI tool. It's really cool. It came up with a couple good ones. Of course, you know, I'm weaving them in as we go, but I was really impressed with that. I got to recommend it, especially while it's still free. Check it out. See what you think about it. Like, really, give it a try. I think that'll be worth your time. You know, I just mentioned Zack, though, and funny enough, you know, on the show, and if you've been watching, first off, of course, thank you for listening to the audio-only version of the show. I love you all out there for it. We'd love reviews, although I heard at this convention that the reviews are not driving traffic as much as they used to, so I'd love it if you left me another review, but if you don't feel like it, that's fine. Just tell your friends about the show. Hit the share button. Hitting the share button is a currency, okay? Share stuff. Stop asking me to share your stuff. Share mine for once. And of course, I say that in jest. That's really to the people in my personal life, not to any of you. But if you like to follow along in a visual sense too, we also release a show on YouTube and other video platforms. And where I'm going with this is that we've been releasing some separate YouTube videos where I've been doing product reviews, things of that nature. And I would highly recommend you give us a subscribe over there. We're growing the channel pretty quickly. It's been a lot of fun. Have some great content out there. Some of my favorites we've done recently. We have the #1 review of Pepsi's new product, Starry. So thank you to the people at Pepsi for letting us try that early. We did a fun piece on international dipping sauces that I tried here. And we've got more stuff in the pipeline. I don't want to spoil them. I just want to release them for you. But today, you know, I thought I'd kind of give you a tease of how we do that sort of thing here. And I mentioned Zack, our creative director. Zack reached out to me recently and was like, hey, have you heard about this new Dr. Pepper product? And I had just heard about it and was like, oh my gosh, brilliant timing. We're getting it in soon. I'm so hyped about it. And we got it in, and I thought to kick this off before we talk to Bonita, I wanted to bring Zack in here to try it along with me. So, welcome back to the show, our creative director, Zack.
Thanks for having me.
Okay, I've been excited about this, and you were the one that first told me this was coming, so I've been excited about it. I haven't actually tried either of them yet, so I'll do a little post bit afterwards just to give my quick reviews.
Yeah.
But we have this now. This is the new Dr. Pepper Strawberries and Cream. I heard you're a strawberry fan? Strawberry
is my favorite flavor of anything. Milkshakes, desserts, always love strawberries. I get stoked anytime I see a strawberry anything, pretty much. And I did see this on Facebook, and I messaged Mark immediately. And I said, we better be getting this. And he said, we are. So I saw them in store today, and I am due. I didn't know we were getting zero sugar as well. It's nice that these companies are making zero sugar stuff. I do have one complaint, though.
Oh, yeah. Hit me.
I feel like as somebody who watches their sugar, zero sugar's nice. Mm-hmm. However, we all know there's something in it.
Right, exactly.
And they don't necessarily always say how much of that other thing is in there. In the natural food parts of the store, you'll notice it'll say like erythritol or sugar alcohol.
Yeah.
And like, I'm sure that does list erythritol.
Right.
But it doesn't tell me how many grams of the sugar alcohol. It just says zero sugar.
Yeah.
Well, we know that's not true.
Right.
So, and you can only have 10 grams of sugar alcohol per day.
Really?
Or you will get diarrhea.
Oh, this is the old sugar-free Haribo thing.
Exactly. So if your grandma's drinking too much Diet Coke, that might be why.
Oh, exactly. Keep the diapers tight.
Yeah, anytime I'm looking at like a power bar or something, or those Buy Energies now, like those are zero sugar, but they'll say like 2 grams of sugar alcohol.
Oh, awesome.
I think these companies should start saying that so that we don't overdose on sugar alcohols, because they're great, but they can also be harmful to your digestive tract.
For sure, it's crazy.
Consume too many.
And the consumers are all about transparency these days.
Absolutely.
That's a great point, Zach. I agree with that. I'll back that up too. Let's make it happen. I think we've got that kind of authority now.
Yeah, come on, Pepsi.
Yeah, exactly.
Step it up. Be the first one to do it.
Yeah, the Dr. Pepper 7-Up Corporation right now is like, oh gosh, they figured me out.
Is Dr. Pepper Pepsi?
No, not even. Well, I don't know if they were. I always thought they were, but I think they are now a separate brand. It's them and 7-Up are together.
Oh, okay, so they're their own thing.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, so what I've poured for you today, and Zach doesn't know which one is which, to be very clear. I poured one of each. I've got a can of zero sugar. I've got the bottle of the full leaded version. And we thought it'd be fun not only to see how Zach feels about this, but more importantly, can he pick out the zero sugar one? So I guess, honestly, Zach, if you want to start with the one on the left, your left.
All right. Well, in my experience, zero sugar usually has less carbonation. Mm-hmm. So I'm just going to go with a little tap test here first.
Oh, the tap test. Okay.
And I was watching them ever since you poured them. There's still more bubbles in this one.
Okay.
But I'm not going to I'm swaying towards this being sugar-free without even taking a drink, folks.
Ooh, okay. Let's see what we got.
But we're going to give this a taste test first. And I'm obviously going to talk about whether or not I like it too. Just bringing it up to my mouth is really exciting. That sounds inappropriate,
smell
but
of strawberry is potent. I mean, even from here.
It's damn good.
Is it?
It is so really good. Excited. It's dangerously good.
I don't want to taste till you're done, so I don't mess
I'm going to make a cocktail with this for sure.
Oh, awesome.
Without trying this one, it does taste a little flatter.
Okay.
And really sweet.
Okay.
So usually that kind of hints at a zero sugar. This should scream a little bit more, and I should get more of that iconic Dr. Pepper flavor and less of that like sweetness. Let's see. I think I'm right. I think this is Dr. Pepper with sugar.
Okay.
And this is Dr. Pepper sugar-free.
Well, congratulations. You nailed it.
Let's go. See, I'm a pro, guys. Did you like them
both, though?
Yeah. I will say I would drink this, the sugar-free option. I shouldn't say this for our listeners who are listening not on YouTube, which we appreciate you. But I would say this doesn't taste too different for me to want to consume the sugar, I would say. But I am curious to know how much sugar alcohol is in the sugar-free one.
For sure.
because I want to know if I can drink a full one or not. But overall, I would say flavor-wise, they're very, very, very similar. This just has a little bit more of that Dr. Pepper flavor.
Yeah.
But if you're into the whole strawberry thing and you just want that strawberry flavor like me, the sugar-free is the way to go.
I'm into it. Thanks, Zach.
Hey, of course. Thanks for having me. I'm going to finish these.
Yeah,
so.
please. I was going to say, consider this a gift to the I'll give you the 0. I only brought one of the leaded, so I need to try that too. It's really good.
Yeah, well, you got to try it now.
Okay, okay.
Take it back.
Take it back. I got a fresh one in the fridge for you. All right. Well, in that case, let's find out together, folks, shall we? All right, so I'm going to go 0 sugar first. It's usually what I drink anyway. I was a huge fan last summer. They brought back the dark berry Dr. Pepper. I mean, this smells really strong. It's somebody's in line when I was grabbing it before was like, it tastes like those Cream Savers candies, and they were very excited. That's totally what it smells like to me.
It does.
Oh, wow. Oh, and there's the Dr. Pepper flavor right in the back end. Ooh, that's good.
But the strawberry is like really there.
Yeah, and I kind of wish when they had done the dark berry, they'd done the same thing with the dark berry, give it a little more oomph. Dr. Pepper, very proud of what you've done with this one. That's great. Do you want a little more of the leaded before I sip out of the bottle?
Oh, no, I'm good. I'm good. Just no berries and cream weird commercials, please.
Yes. I'm in love with berries and cream.
Those give me nightmares.
Me too.
Let's stay away from those.
All right, I got to try the regular. Really not very different at all, huh?
Yeah, just not as strawberry-y.
Yeah, I agree with that. Which
more
is kind
Dr.
of
Pepper, I would say.
Yeah, that is odd because I really thought it would be kind of the other way around, right? Because that strawberry flavor in here is such a sweet note.
I'm telling you, it's just those sugar alcohols.
Right.
And it would make sense if they were mixing the flavoring into the sugar.
Yeah.
So they just have to put more of it to make it taste better.
That makes sense.
And it just tastes a little bit sweeter.
I'm not too surprised because this seemed like something I was going to like in the first place. But listen, if you're out there and you like good soda and you don't want to do the sugar thing, try the 0 sugar Dr. Pepper strawberries and cream. Wow, there's so many names in it. It's like a law firm.
I know. It's crazy.
And natural and artificial strawberries and cream flavor and associates. Okay, yes.
Yeah. Can I see it though?
Yeah, please.
I'm curious.
Yeah, look at it. What you got?
I don't mean to turn this into a 20-minute segment.
It's okay. We're fine.
But yeah, it says total sugar 0.
Right. It's aspartame is the sweetener, so they're going back to the 80s.
Oh, okay, aspartame, but it doesn't tell you how much of it.
No, they don't want you to know. Because I think once we find out, we'll be like,
it's going to be an ungodly amount.
Right.
Yeah. Well, that's also why this is a designer thing too.
Yeah.
But that's also why they measure sodium in milligrams and not grams, folks. So actually their designers were hired to create the nutritional fact label, and it's updated every single year per law. But if we delivered sodium in grams, it would be an ungodly amount. So in order for the number to be lower, they measure sodium in milligrams.
Interesting.
Which, fun fact, you're only supposed to have 3,250 grams of salt per day. Or milligrams.
Milligrams.
Sorry, milligrams. Sorry,
I was
not
just
grams.
like, oh my gosh.
Yeah.
I was like, oh, all right, I'm in, dude. Back the truck up.
Salt's really not that bad. I mean, there's only 60 milligrams of salt in this. So
so it's not too much. Sodas usually are pretty good about that.
Yeah, you have to watch out for the sugars mostly. And for men, it's 32 grams.
Okay.
For women, it's 34 per day. So, which is insane because I was consuming like 5,000
Well, I'm sitting here looking
day.
at this. I mean, like this bottle here has 65 grams of sugar in it.
That's double your daily amount.
It's crazy.
And
to think about how many
put
full
the cap
sugar,
back
I'm like,
on
I'm going to go and just put this in the fridge.
Yeah.
That's what happens with all of the full sugar drinks I try on the show. I'm like, oh, that was a good taste. Put it in the fridge. Don't ever acknowledge its existence.
It's crazy though. Once I started watching my sugar after I became a zombie for like 3 weeks and like realized how hooked my body was on sugar.
Yeah.
I lost 20 pounds.
No kidding.
Just like 0 exercise, just watching my sugar. And now when I have something with a lot of sugar in it, like I like gummies a lot. If I eat like a whole bag of like watermelon gummies, I feel it.
Yeah.
I feel the sugar.
Yeah.
Like a lot of people are just so numb to it. They're like, oh, sugar does nothing to me. Coffee does nothing to me.
Right.
It's because we're over consuming.
For sure.
And you just need to kind of lower the tolerance and then you'll be good to go.
Yeah, like anything else. Truly.
Yeah.
Like for real. It's anytime. The caffeine thing is a really great point too, and you never notice until you're like, oh, I haven't had caffeine in a week, and weird, I'm sleeping differently in a good way.
Absolutely. Well, thank you for having me. I'm glad I could put my sugar, non-sugar skills to the test. And I'm glad I passed and didn't fail in front of the cameras. I would have been really embarrassed.
For it next time. Yeah, well, no, it would have been fine. No one would have been judging. So thanks for joining, Zach. I appreciate it.
Of course, anytime.
Well, that was fun, right? So subscribe to us on YouTube, check this stuff out. And if this product sounded good at all to you, come into Jungle Gems, get yourself some, there's so many words, Dr. Pepper Zero Sugar Strawberries and Cream. And guess what? We're running a sale on 12 packs this week. So if you buy 3, I don't know the specifics, just come in, check our ad, go to junglegems.com, learn more. Because if I say it wrong, I'm going to be so embarrassed and I don't have time to re-edit this part. Okay, that said, you've checked it out, and now it's time for me to welcome Bonita into the studio. Oh, and did I say that she's going to sing for us? What a crazy episode. Here we go. We've been trying to do this for a year, and scheduling is very hard for me in general. I'm getting better at it, but that's Mark's journey. But today, it's not about my journey. Actually, it is a little bit about my journey because it's a journey into delicious sweet potato pies. I'd like you to meet Bonita of Bonita's Southern-style sweet potato pies. Welcome.
Thank you for having me. We've been at this for almost a year, and it was one thing after another, but today is the day because this is the day that it's meant to be, meant to happen.
Exactly. This will be a good one, too. And, well, I mean, you've been in the store for a couple of years now. You've had a lot of success doing this, so I just thought it'd be a lot of fun. You have a good, exciting energy, too, and that's like something, it's hard to come by in this, usually. Right. And I never mean that in a bad way, but it's like for so many things, it's like, I feel like a lot of business owners feel forced to get in on this kind of social side.
Right.
And sometimes I can go either way, but I'm always just trying to drag the fun. So when I get someone who's fun, too, it's like, this is going to be a good time.
Well, it falls into play because when I first started demoing with the sweet potato pies, customers would come up and they would sample the pies and everything. And I would see people I know, and then it's just like excitement, because we're always saying, Bonita! I'm saying, hey, how you doing? It's just, and then it draws the people in to walk up and get a sample because people can feel energy.
Yeah.
Okay. And once they feel that energy reflects Jungle Gems International.
Right.
Fairfield.
Oh, yeah.
It reflects it. So it reflects the bakery. It just reflects everything. So when people come in, if you have a warm, welcoming spirit, it can go a long way.
Yeah. Well, hopefully I'll learn that one of these days. Well, tell me a little bit about your journey. So how did you get into, where did the sweet potato pies come from?
Okay, let me start with this. Okay, this is an introduction. Bonita's Southern style sweet potato pies has a unique, distinct, stunning taste admired by those who are truly experienced when it comes to artisan baking.
I love
It's rewarding to know that everyone from all cultures, diversity cultures, rewarding to know everyone from all cultures can experience Bonita's Southern style sweet potato pies. So, as they say, I was just playing. I started out passing out samples at work. That was like in 2005. It was just a hobby.
Yeah.
And then fast forward into 2012, I officially became a business because people were asking for pies and they enjoyed them. And it felt good for me to know that I'm doing something that people enjoy. Now, of course, they always say, well, I can, what makes your pie different? Okay. And everybody makes, those who want to make a sweet potato pie, hey, go for it because that is your pie.
Right.
But from my perspective, I look at it as, we have, 1.7 billion people in this world and counting. One person, such as myself, cannot manufacture and satisfy the entire sweet potato pie connoisseur taste bud because people know their pies.
Right.
If they're going to buy one from me, they know their pies. So the thing about it is that you can't manufacture and satisfy the entire sweet potato pie connoisseur taste buds. So if you have, I don't care, it's a lemon pie, it's a sweet potato pie, it's a cherry pie, the harvest is plenty. Get in your market, get in your lane, and go for it. Almost the same as Wendy's, McDonald's.
Right.
It's a franchise, but when you go there, you have the same taste. The taste is the same.
Right.
So with myself, if you're getting the pie from the grocery store, if you're purchasing the pie from me, it's going to taste the same. Here we go. To the best of my ability.
Right.
Consistency is everything. And that's one of the major feedbacks that I have received, that the pies taste the same every time I get it. Now, I might run across a little snag every once in a while where it's like, what happened here?
Right.
Something's missing. And you just got to go back and see, remember, what did you tweak? What did you miss?
Sure.
What were you on the phone doing? What were you doing? And you just go back and fix it and keep going. The same thing as a McDonald's or Wendy's or whatever. If the sandwich is not right, take it back.
Right.
The same case scenario.
Wow, I love that. Well, and I think that is such a great point, that consistency is so important. And especially because you're clearly pouring a lot of yourself into this.
Yes.
Wow. I love hearing those stories too, where it's just so, I hope that people take away the right thing always from this when we meet people like yourself. And
Yes.
I've dealt with this in my own career too, where I'm just like, when you were talking about like find your lane and just go for it.
Right.
There's room for everybody.
It's room for everybody. The harvest is plenty. I'm not into competition. I'm not into contest on who can do what.
Right.
Nope. I am my own brand.
Yeah.
You take the gift that God has given you. And when you have a gift that God has given you, you don't have to compete.
Right.
You really don't.
No, it's just come do what you're good
Come
at.
do what you do.
Yeah.
The gift that he gave you to do.
Yeah, and share it with people. It's fun,
Right.
especially when it's delicious.
That's why I butter pie, fresh baked, hot popping fresh
It's
out
ready.
the
Yeah,
oven.
right. Well, I feel like I'll dive into it at some point here.
Right.
So, you talked about how you were, doing it as a hobby thing. What truly inspired you to make these pies in the first place? Like, were you always wanting to bake in the background? Or?
No. My answer is no. But as I said, I was just playing, and I had the idea. But what really got me was I thought about my grandmother's and my auntie's cakes and how they set up high, on a counter with the glass plate. I mean, it's so elegant,
Yeah.
And I said, well, I'll make a sweet potato pie. And I said, now just pull in what you felt when you had their cakes and their pies or whatever. My grandmother, yes, she did. Both of my grandmothers made sweet potato pie, but that wasn't quite the catch. Mm-hmm. And I said, well, I'll make the pie, and I started playing around with it. And then I kind of said, well, I want to catch what my aunts, when they taste the cake, I want them to be able to feel the same home taste feeling as if in with a sweet potato pie.
Yeah.
And so fast forward, I put it all together, start playing around with it, and people were like, well, you're doing a pie. Are you selling these? I was like, yeah, I guess I sell them.
Yeah.
Just playing.
Yeah.
I'm just playing.
No, I get it.
And then fast forward, I began to participate in a lot of vending events across the city. And it takes time, to build that up. And one of the other things, I think it was probably about 2 years ago. Mm-hmm. I guess I was in one of my modes. I was like, why are you doing this? You get in that.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, you get in that.
That's the only bad part of driving in your lane.
And then it hit me. I said, wait a minute. My father was a supervisor at a bakery in Meridian, Mississippi. Mm-hmm. And if that's the critic right there, is my father. He will tell me, even if I, think I can trick him on something, he's like, Bonita, no, that's not right. But I realize you're pulling this from him, which is something that God put in him.
Yeah.
And it's in me. I never would have imagined that sweet potato pies would have been my specialty. But then when he shared with me, I mean, I've been hearing it over the years, but it finally hit me that, wait a minute, you pulling this from your father.
Yeah.
I mean, it's just really a sweet thing. So once I really said, okay, you're going to have to dig your heels in, I got my licensings, got my trademark, worked through University of Cincinnati Cultural Diversity Awareness Program. That was my official start in 2012.
Okay.
And then I was selected to be a part of the program. It's called Flame. And that assists entrepreneurs with different things that you want to make for sure your paperwork is clear.
Oh, cool.
Even with the trademark. And so then I also I was selected with Mortar. I'm a Mortar alumni.
Oh, okay.
And so by the time I got into Mortar, I was class number 11, and I think my graduate year was 2017, I believe. I call it a DNA. Because by the time I got into Mortar, I already had the DNA of an entrepreneur.
Right.
So that really pushed me in. But also at the same time, you've got to have be able to listen and to be able to see and learn. Because there's something new to learn every day. And I tell you, Mortar program, I learned so much, not only with the Mortar program, but also with other mentors along the way. People who would share with me, like, well, Bonita, this is how I did it. This is what worked for me. And it may not happen right at that moment, but I'm able to carry that and grasp that idea that they gave me, or rather suggested to me, because this is something like what they do in their business.
Right.
I was able to take it and run with it.
That's beautiful.
So really, the sweet potato pie has actually been a journey for me through, we all go through transitions in life, through the good, the bad, the ugly. Not only that, it's also been a spiritual walk.
Yeah.
Because people, when they come up to my table, I don't know them, they don't know me, but good connects. It always connects. And they would tell me, you got something in your hands and you're going to do well with it. Just stay persistent with it, because I can see you going a long way. And this was before I even got into Jungle Gems.
Oh, no kidding.
Right. So it's like the prophetic path was already paved. It's already made. I just have to walk through the journey. And another thing that I love about it is because you get to speak with people of all demographics.
Yeah. We all like treats.
Right. Everybody wants something sweet. Everybody like to eat something sweet, And then here's the thing. The sweet potato pie is diverse. I can do it with no sugar.
Oh, interesting.
Yes. And also on my website, the other line that I just started, it's called, it's a spiked sweet potato pie.
Whoa.
Praline pecan sweet potato pie. Uncle Nearest bourbon sweet potato pie.
Oh, wow.
And the praline pecans is mixed in with that. So if you
Yeah, it sounds amazing. I'm like,
so if you go check out my website,
Yeah.
www.bonitaspies.com, you'll see the selections that are available.
Oh, cool.
Because you want to think out the box, you want to do something different.
Yeah.
And as I said before, somebody may be doing the same thing, and that's great.
Yeah.
But this is your baby. This is what you're putting out.
Right.
And you have to be open to constructive criticism. That's one of the other many things that I've learned. And also just learning how to discern and listen for what's best for you and what is not best for you.
And that's a big thing. I imagine it being a big struggle for a lot of people in all walks of life. Something that you were saying about just that it's your baby, right? I look at food sometimes like so many other art forms, especially the art of like baking or the actual production of the meal or whatever. It's almost like playing a song, right? Like, yeah, that song was great the first time, but you might like it when I sing it. I might like it when you sing it. And there's, this is something that's really personally this is me getting on my soapbox. I dealt with this in so many creative angles of my life where a lot of creative groups do not seem, I don't want to say supportive, but they're not very supportive of each other in that there's too much competition, right? And there's a lot of that mentality of like, the dog bowl's not big enough. We can't drink from it.
Right.
So every time I have an opportunity to jump on the soapbox, especially when someone besides me starts the conversation, I'm like, let's get in on it.
I do have a commercial jingle that I created.
Oh my gosh.
That I created years ago. It was when I first started out. Actually, it did air, but what happened? Here we go. What happened was I missed the cue. This was on Channel 9.
Yeah.
And what happened was I missed the cue. I missed the cue by 8 seconds.
No.
And so people who were listening to it, all they heard was da da da. They heard me and they go, "What happened?"
That's amazing.
So to this day, I always tell myself, "Don't miss the cue.
Yeah.
Do not miss the cue."
Oh, that's so good.
So the coming year, I am working on, as they say, rebranding
Oh, okay.
that commercial jingle.
Yeah.
So it's some more good stuff.
Might have to
coming.
air it on here. I'm
But
ready.
Can I sing you the jingle right
I
now?
would literally love that so much. Now's the chance. Let's hear it. This is exclusive.
What did I get myself into? But I gotta do the jingle. Okay. Bonita Southern style sweet potato pies is oh so tasty. Bonita Southern style pies. Oh, taste and see. Yes, it's good. Oh, yes, it's good. Oh, Bonita Southern style pies. To place your order today, order online, www.bonitaspies.com.
That was amazing. You know how long it's been since I've gotten somebody to sing in this office for me? It's been months, so thank you.
But here's the key when
That
I
was
say
beautiful.
thank you,
You're
thank you.
welcome.
And here's another key to it is when people taste the pie.
Yeah,
Samples is what makes the sale.
right.
Because people are not going to just walk up to a table and say, "Oh, I'll buy your pie."
Right.
You need to have samples. But unfortunately, that's what I was doing, prior to COVID.
Right.
And then when COVID hit, I basically I refrained from it as much as possible.
Mm-hmm.
I still, I was here last week doing some demos,
Mm-hmm.
but I kept my time short. I kept, everything is already closed. The sample cups, they're already in a plastic
Right.
bag. Everything is sealed so that when the customer touches it or picks it up, it's in their hands.
Right.
But I'm still very, very, very careful with it because once COVID hit, that was it. There were no more, everything shut down.
Right.
But then in April, I think was it April, I think? I was talking to Sharon and she says, "Bonita, people still want pies. When are you bringing pie?" I said, "You still want pies?" I was just like, yeah. So we kept on rolling, with the small pies.
That's really cool.
And that, because it's like, when you think about it, people still want to eat. People still want something sweet.
Yeah.
I don't know what it was with, during the time of COVID, but I don't know. I always just wanted some cake.
Yeah.
I just wanted something just like comfort food.
Right.
A
A little something rich in the diet, as it were. Yeah.
Yeah.
I kept telling myself, I was like, oh, if this is how it all goes out, I'm
Right.
eating pretty good at the end.
Right.
Well, I've heard this a lot that the demos are so important for so many ends of it. And that makes a ton of sense, right? Because like you said, a lot of times, I try a lot of things. I feel pretty adventurous. But even I know I'm like, oh, that little bite might be the thing that pushes me over the proverbial cliff. And I wanted to ask, what was it like getting into Jungle Gyms?
Oh, let me tell you that story.
I can't wait.
Okay, so this goes way back. Frank Arrington.
Oh, yeah. Frank just came back, too, by the way.
Yes,
You
I
might
saw
see
him.
Okay, you did? Okay.
I saw him. I just had a fit.
Yeah, he's awesome.
So Frank, I would come down to Jungle Gyms and get sweet potatoes. Mm-hmm. And then we just started chit-chatting. We started talking. And that's how I met Frank. Okay. That was the beginning of the door opening.
Mm-hmm.
Fast forward, I was working out. I was over across the street at Planet Fitness working out. And I said, well, this was always God talking to me. And I said, you need to go talk to Mr. Jungle Jim. And so in between that part, Frank had also encouraged me, you know, why don't you just see how things work out, okay? But at that point, fast forward, we're going back to when I said, I need to talk to Jungle Jim. I need to talk to Mr. Jim. So I came in looking out, and AJ addressed me.
Oh.
That's my buddy.
I love AJ
AJ
too, yeah.
and Frank are my buddies. And so he was just like, well, can I help you? I said, I need to speak with Mr. Jim. He was like, well, Mr. Jim, he know who I was. He said, Mr. Jim is in a meeting, but can I help you? I said, well, I was talking to Frank Arrington, and we were talking about some possible, they have demos pop up, and I'm really interested in it.
Yeah.
And we kept talking, and then he says to me, he called me back. AJ called me back. He was like, Bonita, okay, we're having a board meeting, a luncheon or something here.
Mm-hmm.
He said, I want you to set up a sample tray. He said, I need for you to make this as impressive as possible because this is your way. This is, Jungle Jim's and his team staff want to sample the pies. Okay.
Yeah.
So I was very nervous, with that, suggestion, but I did it. I said, be positive, think positive. I went ahead on and I did it, and they really enjoyed it. So at that point, that's when we started working towards, making sure I had my records in place, licensing and all that kind of stuff, working with the bakery, on how we're going to do this and how it's going to set up. And the rest is history. Actually, the bakery management, Sharon and Julie and the whole team, Christy,
yep.
Outstanding.
Former guest on the show, too.
Yes, outstanding. So I've learned a lot from them. So, now when I come in, it's just like, you know what to do. And then, of course, when I always have questions, and I mean, now it's like, it's so funny. I think I was in there Saturday, and I was thinking about something that I was trying to put together. Mm-hmm. And Christy looked at me and she says, Bonita, what do you need? I hadn't said nothing because I didn't want to bother nobody, but
sure,
but I feel so much at home. I feel a part of the bakery. I feel a part of Jungle Jim's. But once again, I say, it's Bonita's Southern style sweet potato pies that represents the bakery because it's part of the bakery. As a vendor, I'm representing Bonita's Southern style sweet potato pies, and coming in as a vendor for Jungle Jim's international Fairfield location, it all has got to match up because everything is a reflection on me, Jungle Jim's International, the bakery, everything is a reflection. So you want everything, to be right.
Right, absolutely.
And then you learn, of course, there's some mistakes. Sure. You learn from it. And that's what it's all about.
Yeah, growth.
And that's exactly what, I was able to go into the mini theater and look at the history. I said, this was all about growth.
Yeah.
And having a dream and keeping it going. And then you bring in to help build. But it's like everybody has got to have the same idea, the same feel.
Right.
Because otherwise it's not going to work.
Yeah, everybody's got to be on the team.
Everybody's got to be on the team. And I'm so grateful. I'm so grateful for the opportunity to be a vendor.
Oh, that's so cool.
I'm
and
grateful.
You can totally tell. You're so happy and excited. I love it for you. I'm just like, oh, this is a very heartwarming show. It's always weird in my seat because I'm kind of like also listening to the show, right? As I'm going, I'm like, this is a really heartwarming I like this episode. Oh my gosh. I'm sorry to now derailed my train of thought. I meant to ask one question earlier, and I'll probably just plug this in later. What is Mortar?
Mortar is a entrepreneurship program, Mortar alumni. It helps entrepreneurs build their business. They help you reach your dream. They help you learn how to best make your business work for you. And it goes from a level of media advertising to finances to your map of which direction that you want to take. It really makes you think about what it is that you want to do.
Perfect.
Yes,
Cool.
And it has really grown. They are in several cities now across the U.S. It's been absolutely outstanding.
Oh, that sounds like a great place too. I know I've run across it a few times, but I was
Yes.
like, I kind of assumed it was along the lines of what you said, but
Yes.
just for the audience's sake, I'll stitch that in.
Okay.
earlier. To be clear, by the way, you are just in Fairfield right now. Is that correct? Or are your pies at Eastgate as well?
I am not at Eastgate right now.
Okay.
As I said, not right now.
No, it's okay.
It could be
Hey,
coming.
growth. That was the theme of the episode. It might
I am
come-
at Country Fresh Farm Market.
Okay.
That is on Vine.
Okay.
It's on Vine in Hartwell.
Trying to think
And
if I know that one.
let's see. Do you know where Drake Hospital is?
Yeah.
Okay. Do you know where Famous Recipe Chicken is?
I think so.
It sits on
Like-
that corner, and you go down probably about a block.
Okay.
And Country Fresh Farm Market sits right there.
Perfect.
Yes.
So you're all over now.
Yes. And so now, since my online has really kicked off, that's where it's happening at.
I love it. And everything's on the internet now, right?
Yes, it is. And see, one of the other key things too is, since the pies are, there are no preservatives, they are artisan baked. It's as if each pie is made individually for each person. So the product, normally it will last, I want to say probably it will last for 3 weeks up to a month. I have tested it.
Cool.
But I say this to say, you don't want to overstock, you don't want to overdo, because you want your pie to have that special consistency and taste that it had the last time.
Right.
And so in the event, I'll check in and say how many pies we have left. I'll restock. But as far as just stocking all of these pies, no, I want to keep the consistency of it, because that's very important. It's your brand,
Right.
It's your baby,
Yeah.
and so it's not mass produced.
I was going to ask you if you had any like little special techniques or special ingredients that you might be able to share with us that you feel make yours so special.
Love and the passion. It's able to capture what people have had in the past, like, I don't know, 20 years ago. Like this one lady, I've had quite a few customers, and I end up crying with them. They said, wait a minute, this tastes like my aunt's pie, my grandmother's pie.
Yeah.
And tears are rolling down their face, because I get it, because I can taste things that reminds me of my grandmother's and my auntie's pies or cakes or things like that. I know this is not having to do with sweet potato pie, but my auntie, she made corned beef. Oh my God, it was just so good. My other aunt, it was German chocolate cake, checkerboard cake, cobblers. So all those different things will hit a memory.
Right.
Yes, I recently posted something on Facebook. It had all these old-fashioned candies on it. Mm-hmm. Just to see that candy, everybody could almost relate to it.
Yeah.
Like, that was the feel of Christmas. That was the feel of Christmas.
Like the old hard candies, the ribbon candies and all that. I can see the tin.
Right. And there were some, I didn't like. But
No, I don't know if I
otherwise-
liked any of them, to be honest. I know my grandmother did.
Right. And one of the other things I was getting ready to say, is like, it's that pie. So, when you have that pie in your hands, you feel like, oh, this was made especially for me.
I love that so much. Yeah.
This was made especially for me. And that's the feel that I want to give to customers. And as always, if you're not satisfied with something, just let us know.
Yeah.
We'll replace it. That's no big deal at all.
I really love that about and I like the transparency too, because I mean things do happen, and it's of course I mean like that's you mentioned just taking the journey itself and walking down the path. The path is sometimes riddled with potholes and things like
yes,
that nature.
It is.
And we're all it's just nice to hear somebody say it. I think I don't know. I'm hoping this is maybe a silly goal for me, but like I'm always hoping that in one of these conversations, somebody out there is listening, and it inspires them to just stop thinking about their dream and doing the dream instead. You
just
know?
do it. And I'm telling you, a way will be made. A way will be made in this journey.
Yeah.
But you have to be willing to recognize the way. And sometimes you may take a way that you think is the way to go, and that was not a good way to do it.
Sure.
It was not. Hey, but you learn from your mistakes.
Hopefully, at least, right? That's a good tip.
You learn from your mistakes, and you do not go back to that again.
Right.
Because this is your baby, and it's just like your child. You're not going to hand your child off to just anybody.
No, of course not.
And then you have to look at the big picture. If you're getting in, if you have something that you can't handle, let it go. You can't do it, because it's what's most important to you.
Yeah.
And your business and your brand. Your brand is everything.
Yeah.
And it's just like, through that whole process of, being able to participate with UC, Cultural Diversity Awareness Program, your trademark, your brand, and you're protecting your product.
You have to.
You have to. But I think we were talking about what makes it different.
Yeah.
Okay, we have eggs, butter, sugar, cinnamon, nutmeg, vanilla, lemon, milk. But there's that extra touch of love that goes into it.
Yeah. You laugh, but like, you made a comment.
It's that extra touch of love that goes into it. Like, almost like when mom pack it, like when my mother used to pack my lunch or whatever, or when I packed my son's lunch. I may have all the basic things in there, but I might add an extra touch of something in there.
Sure.
That makes it.
And that's we keep that little secret.
Yeah, that makes it pop. Yes.
We laugh a little bit after saying the love thing, but it is that, you mentioned you can feel the energy in the room. You can feel somebody's behavior. And I believe, again, comes out to me being the food and creating food as a form of art. Mm-hmm. But you are putting yourself into this. Mm-hmm. And I think that's a totally valid answer for this. That, everybody's out there like, oh, it's turmeric. Right. No, it's you.
Mm-hmm.
You're the special ingredient. Mm-hmm. And you're all the special ingredients out there. That's really the important part. I hope, at least. If not,
right.
Well, should we do a little sampling as we near the end of the episode?
Yeah.
Cool. Because I think right now, to be clear, we're just carrying the standard pie here, right? Because the fun new ones are just on your website, right?
Well, here's the good news.
Oh,
we do have whole pies.
I thought I was going to have to beg Sharon.
Well, whole pies are available. Thanksgiving, they sold out.
Yeah.
They sold out. There are still whole pies available as we speak. The last time I checked, there were like 16 pies available.
Cool.
I just baked the small pies because, as I said, you got to be able to balance. But here's the thing. You can always order online.
Yeah.
So we'll definitely be speaking about like how many whole pies to bring in.
Cool.
What's the scale?
Yeah.
How's the scale working?
I'm hoping that pralines one shows up. That's why I've been on that for 15. But right, exactly. Cool. Thank you.
But goodness, what was I going to say? As far as the as the whole pies, mm-hmm. There's just something about it because it's about family, and one of the main things that I had in mind when I first started this, and when I saw trucks with Bonita's pies or and I had this paper. It was a purple fluorescent paper that I used to wrap the pies with. And when people would see that purple fluorescent paper, they go, oh, that's that pie. But one of the main things that I wanted to crack, sweet potato pies are not just for Thanksgiving, Christmas, Mother's Day,
Right.
Easter, 4th of July, or however.
Yeah.
I wanted to make them year around, whereas you can get a sweet potato pie year round.
Yeah.
And it's not about seasonal. That's what I wanted to break. And I am so grateful that I have knocked on the door just a little bit.
Yeah. And look, opportunity opened.
Right.
I love it.
I have knocked on the door because a lot of people, they'll say, I've always wanted a pie, but I don't want to wait till Thanksgiving or Christmas. Well, we don't have to do that no more.
Exactly. It's March.
That's
I
what
got
I'm
'em.
here for. You're right. That's what I'm here for. Yeah.
That's awesome. Let me go grab a fork. All right, folks. My favorite part of my job is when I have people bring me delicious. Ooh, it's still warm. The smell right now is so good. Oh, we get that fresh crust smell. You get the fresh pie spice. Oh my gosh, this is gonna be stupid. I can't wait. What a good day. What a good start to my day. Anyone else I interview today is kind of at a loss. All right. Like, how do I break into a pie and look least like a maniac on camera?
Oh, just do it.
Yeah. That's my journey. I just want to make sure I get some crust in there, too.
That's why when I do the
There we go.
the samples, I make for sure everybody gets crust.
You have to.
I put the crust on top of the pan. Still probably still
look at
kind of
this.
warm.
Probably hard. Yeah, it's very warm. Bonita, if you want to just step outside of my office, I need a moment alone. So the whole rest of the show is just me.
You need a moment.
I really do. I might need a few moments. Wow, that's great.
Save some for your favorite Christmas show tonight. I don't know.
Yeah, no, that's a good
It
idea.
might make it.
You say that.
It might make it.
Every time somebody brings me something I love, I'm always like, I'm going to eat this as soon as you're gone. And then that's exactly what happens.
Right.
This is crazy good. You've got first off, it's that silky, beautiful texture of the pie. That was like the first thing I noticed before I even tasted anything. That it's sweet, but it's not like overpowering. Like it's like the sweet potato flavor without being just straight. Look, when you get mass-produced pies, it's sugar first, then whatever the flavor it is. And so this is one of those moments. This is why I try to make sure you all are out there buying independently made pies, because they literally do care and it does taste better. Nobody's paying me to say this. They're just paying me to say anything. And this is what I'm choosing to say. No, I mean, instantly it was just the spices, the flavor, like all just was super rich. I mean, it's still there on the tongue too. This is amazing.
It comes back with like a punch.
Yeah, I love it. But a loving punch.
Yes.
It's not
Like,
overly
oh.
threatening. Like, a little love tap. Make sure I was still in the fight. You know?
Right.
This is amazing. I'm going to take one more bite. I'm sorry.
Hey.
We're starting early here on the Jungle Gyms podcast.
Right.
This is is it 5 o'clock yet? And the crust too. Flaky, buttery, tasty. I mean, what more do you want? What more do you want? Tell her on her website. She'll make it.
Right. Yes.
Oh my gosh. Bonita, this is awesome.
Thank you.
I really am gonna have an awkward moment with
You
this
need some
now.
water now.
I really do. Like a fan. Well, first off, thank you again for coming in. I'm sorry it took so long for us to make this happen, but I'm really glad we
Timing
did.
is everything. It just
sure.
wasn't time yet.
Yeah.
But this was time.
Yeah, I had a great time. I hope you did
Right.
too. Well, I look forward to your success. Thanks for being here in the jungle.
Thank you.
Yeah, if you've got anything coming up anytime soon, let me know if there's anything I can help you out with.
I sure will, most definitely.
Awesome.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Bonita, thanks for coming in and sharing your story. Thanks for talking about some of those food memories and all those intangibles that we sometimes forget when we're creating things, especially in the food world. Well, everyone, another great episode in the bag. Let me, reach out to me. Podcast@junglegyms.com. Talk to me about what you want, what you want to see, what you want to learn about. I'm really trying to, I know we've kind of carved a niche in that we're a podcast in a grocery store or international market, as we prefer, talking about food. But, there is that thing that's been nagging at me since this convention, which is, what is the real vein here? Where am I going to find that ore I want to mine? And we've been doing well, but I want to figure out, I got to blow this up, and I want your help. So if you're really loving the show, share it with your friends. Share it with people you don't like. Share it with everyone. If you come in, I'll even give you a bumper sticker while I still have supplies in stock. They're really nice. They're very colorful. They match the wall. They got a little QR code, all that good stuff. And, of course, a little cute cartoon drawing of me. But that's what I'm working on right now. So this is a good year. We're at a good time on the show. We're having fun. You can reach out to me always, podcast@junglegyms.com, or you can call our anonymous hotline at 513-674-6855, and I'll air you on the show. It'll be great. Just say whatever. You can just, like I keep saying, let the demons out. And guess what? I want to thank a bunch of you who've already called. I'll be airing some of that soon. I've just been traveling a bunch, so it was a little hard to get some of the extra segments in this week, but don't worry. For those of you who've already reached out, I love you very much. I appreciate you very much. Thank you for the support, all that good stuff. And honestly, I mean that for all of you out there watching and listening too. Okay, on that, I think that's enough yammering out of me this week. Come on in the store, try some of this stuff. I'm doing a little Super Bowl episode next week. I might even make a dish. Maybe on the show, maybe just on YouTube. It'll be great. I want to spice up your celebrations forever and ever. And then you can invite me to your celebrations. It'll be great. Okay, on that, for real, it's time to go. In the meantime, I'll see you out there in the aisles.
The Jungle Gyms podcast is recorded in the WJJI studio inside Jungle Gyms International Market in Fairfield, Ohio. The Jungle Gyms podcast is produced and hosted by Mark Borison.